special Arlington Million shoot, waiting for John Henry, and now they're all in. The flag is up, and they're off in the inaugural running of the Arlington Million. Match the hatch on the inside. Now it's Key to Content going right to the lead. Kilimanjaro second, the part between horses. Third, Super Moment down along the rail. Match the hatch. John Henry on the outside and Petite Tete. Here they are passing the stands the first time. Key to Content hugs the rail. The Bart right alongside in second. Petite Tete is 3 wide in third. Match the hatch down along the rail. Fourth, Super Moment in fifth. Madam Gay, 6, Kilimanjaro alongside 7. John Henry shuffled 3 wide to 8th, Argument. Down along the rail, 9, Fingal's Cave racing in 10th, followed now by Mrs. Penny. Rossi Gold is 12th and last, but they're fairly well bunched. About 7 furlongs to run in the race, and Key Content shows the way. Key to Content bouncing along now 3 parts of a length to the outside. The Bart right alongside in second. Match the hatch in third on Nick. Then on the outside, that is Petite Tete racing now for 2.5. Madam Gay skims the rail in fifth. Kilimanjaro racing 6. Super Moment between horses 7. John Henry down along the rail racing 8 by 2. Argument in 9th. Fingal's Cave 10th. Rossi Gold and Mrs. Penny. They're still fairly well bunched. They hit for the half-mile marker. They have to catch Key to Content. Key to Content has a 3 parts of a length apart. Right alongside in second. And there goes the filly. Madam Gay charging through along the rail third. Match the head, dropping back in for John Henry. Scoots through along the rail now. 5th, Super Moment. Out there 6, and Rossi Gold is also on the move. Around the far turn they go. The Bart racing strongly on the outside, puts his head in front. Key to Content down along the rail, second by 3, Madam Gay. Losing ground now third, Match the hatch in fourth. John Henry and Rossi Gold. Here they come, spinning out of the turn. The Bart has it now by 2 lengths. Madam Gay driving strongly in second. Key to Content comes back along the rail. Here's John Henry closing ground, followed by Match the hatch. The Bart under a heavy whip. John Henry is charging. John Henry on the outside. The Bart down along the rail. Madam Gay. The Bart digs in under the whip. And a final move by John Henry. The Bart is still there. Can't split him. The Bart. Or is it John Henry on the outside? We know Madam Gay was third. Awfully close. The Bart clinging tenaciously along the rail. John Henry running strongly on the outside. This one can go either way. Almost a dead heat. Either John Henry or the Bart can split them. That's the Arlington Million from Arlington Park. And now back to you, Dick Enberg.
Great call, Phil Georgieff, and a marvelous finish. A photo. The Bart, an outsider at 40 to 1. It appeared that he nosed out the favorite John Henry at the wire.
Well, you know, the Bart is a horse that I happen to know because way back in his 2- and 3-year-old days, he was trained in Ireland by a chap called Ted Curtin. He won what is known as the Ulster Harp Derby, which no way would you put it as a Group 1 race, and he finished 5th in the Irish Sweeps Derby of that year. But no way has he gone on since until today. And what a race he ran for the Franklin Grove stable.
You saw the time, Pete. Anything hidden in those numbers?
Well, life reaction can best be described as abject shock. If you told me that Martens would be able to go 50 and 1, 115 and 3, I thought Key to Content would go on and win it. The fact that the Bart could do it, well, he obviously loved the going, and I said before the race, what's he doing in here? Well, now I know.
Eddie Delahousse, the jockey, a gentleman 29 years of age out of Louisiana, who was a racing champion at Churchill Downs and Keeneland, raced here at Arlington, I believe, was the riding champion here about 3 years ago, migrated to the West Coast, one of the favorites out there at Santa Anita, Del Mar, Hollywood Park. Eddie Delahousse, above the Bart, appears to have captured the $600,000 first place money.
By the way, if I might interject, in defeat, if he indeed was defeated, John Henry won a tremendous trip. He was wide going around to the first turn. Didn't look like he was getting a hold of the track too well. He had a little traffic problem and closed like the bear that he is. He was as impressive in defeat as in victory.
All right, let's go to the replay from the top of the stretch, gentlemen, and anything that would add to our enjoyment of this first inaugural.
At this stage, the Bart is really going well up there in front, but Bill Shoemaker is coming through now with John Henry, with the noseband there and the darkish colors moving up there, 2 from the right. But it's still the Bart, and John Henry really eating up the ground at this stage, but I don't think he quite got there. Key to Content is in along the inside, and he's battling along there too, but here comes Shoe on the outside, and the Bart still holding on. The racing right down now to to the very finish, and John Henry is narrowing that gap with every stride, and here he is racing down now to the very finish, and it's the Bart and John Henry, and it looks still to be the Bart and John Henry. I think
I'm not altogether sure.
I'm not altogether sure either.
This is almost dead heat territory.
And Madam Gay appeared to hustle up to get third, and that would be another upset as Lester Piggott gets his mount into the money.
Yes, she ran on well there in on the inside. Lester putting up 4 pounds overweight, and certainly it's been a great couple of days for Paul Kellaway, the English trainer, because his 2-year-old was 4th in the big race yesterday, and now Madam Gay has been 3rd in this one.
They're studying the photo. We'll have the official results for you as NBC Sports World from Arlington Park continues after this. The official result. John Henry did get his nose in front. We talked about the greatness of this horse earlier, refusing to be beaten, and at the wire able to edge out the Bart. It appeared from our angle the Bart had won. John Henry, $600,000. Richard, let's go to Michael O'Hare.
Well, down here we have the man who rode the Bart. Eddie, did you think that you'd won?
I wasn't sure. It was so close, you know, and I was riding real hard, and it was very close. I was hoping I won, but it was too close to tell.
Well, when you pulled up, did you say anything to Shu, or did you say anything to
I told Shu, I told him, I said, well, I think you beat me. I'm not sure, but I think you beat me. And he said, well, I'm not sure neither. I said, well, I'll settle for a dead heat then.
And that didn't even work out.
That didn't even work out.
Well, hard luck and well ridden anyway.
Thank you.
Lester Piggott. Lester, you were 3rd, of course, and Madam Gay, she ran a good race.
Yeah, well, if the ground had been on top, I'd have definitely won, you know.
You don't think the 4 pounds overweight made any difference?
Well, it might have been a lot further back, you know.
Well, I have an idea. Your trainer over here, Paul Kellaway, the trainer of the English filly, Madam Gay. Madam, I did say Paul. Paul, what do you think of the 4 pounds? It made no difference.
No difference. The best man in the world. Hey?
She ran well.
Terrific. Without a wet, she'd have won. She just didn't quicken in the ground, in the dead ground.
And she ran a good race. You're glad you came.
I'm delighted. She's for sale.
And she's for sale, right? Pete, you've got somebody interesting to talk to.
Well, this is the abject shock department over here. I think Georgie Martez is almost as surprised as I was when the Bart of all horses put away Key to Content coming in the stretch. George, how do you think of the race?
Oh, my horse run good. You know, the racetrack didn't favor him today. Soft grass, turn and rope. But he run game. You know, he had no excuse to run good.
Okay, thanks for stopping by. Dick, all I can say is that it's almost poetic justice. This horse, John Henry, so good. Even when everybody thinks he lost, he still gets the job done.
You know, Pete, I think you had something to do with that photo finish. You said you didn't know what the Bart was in the race for. He won, at least we thought he won, but he didn't.
And somewhere old Bob Bowers is wearing a big smile. John Henry is the winner, $600,000. How much did you say, Pete Axelm?
Old Bob Bowers once sold for $900 for the whole horse.
His daddy.
My gosh.
Bill Shoemaker. Of course, he gets 10%. That was a $60,000 ride for the greatest jockey in the history of United States riding. We're unable to get Bill Shoemaker now because of the award ceremonies, but later in Sports World we will have a chance to chat with him, get his reaction, perhaps a replay of that stretch run.
Dick, I have to say that this is one time Bill Shoemaker earned every quarter of that ride with that ride, because from that post he really took all the worst of it. He maneuvered the horse to the inside so he didn't have to lose ground on the second turn, and obviously when you win by 1/8 of an inch, each move meant quite a bit.
It's interesting, when we talked to Steve Cawthon earlier, when he admired Piggott and Shoemaker, he said, I admired their brain, their mental capacity to work this game, and so it is with Shoemaker. John Henry in a photo, and he never was in front until that very last step. Just did get the nose on the wire ahead of long shot 40-1 the Bart. Here's Bill Shoemaker coming around. Perhaps we can get at least a quick word from the great jockey. Fans in the background giving him a hand. Along with the prize money, the jockey, the owner, and the trainer will receive a hand.